All right, work is hard, distractions are plentiful, and time is short. Adam Hochschild said that, and I don't know who he is, but I like the quote, so I wrote it down. Just do it, Nike. Success. How do you succeed? Let's first talk about college in general. Success is something that you build. It doesn't come easily, not great successes. And there are things that you can do: discipline, focus, effort, work hard. You have to want it. But there are certain things. So a lot of people think, maybe you got good grades in high school, maybe you didn't. So maybe you got good grades in high school and you think, oh, all of a sudden it's difficult, I must be an idiot, everybody's smarter than me, I'm not as smart as I thought. Or you didn't do well in high school, maybe you dropped out. I'm an idiot, I can't do that, they can do that, I can't. That's baloney. On both sides of the equation are baloney. There are certain things that you do to succeed, and everyone that has succeeded or gotten to some level has had plenty of failures and difficulties. So we learn techniques that are powerful. So success in college, I've kind of tried to think about this and say, well, what kind of guy is something in the back of your mind, something that you keep drawing on as touchstones. There are 4 keys going into a class. Now, physics can be a very challenging course, so it can be a place where people really hit the wall. So let's prep you for that. You can do well. The beauty of it is, if you push through it, if you work hard and you learn it well, you will learn many, many things that will serve you, and you'll be good to go. You will be there, a huge hump. Keys: background, your background going into the course, time during the semester that you have available, strong study skills applied. What do those mean? Applied, otherwise none of this makes any sense unless you actually do it and you stop sharpening pencils or playing video games. Attitude, at least not always, but in your attitude. So let's talk about each of these briefly. You've got a PDF file online that you can access with more detailed notes, but here we go. Let's talk about background. Your background. So going into a course, I always say I couldn't take advanced Chinese course. I couldn't just sign up for an I could sign up for an advanced Chinese course. Some schools might let me, some schools might not. But I'd fail because I've taken basic Chinese. So clearly, no matter how hard I worked, I would fail. There's no question about that. So you have to have your prerequisite material solid. For physics, that means your math needs to be solid. Your algebra has to be basic. If not, go back and do it. It's just a matter of doing it. If it's been a few years, it's going to be rusty if you're a human being. Trigonometry, graphing things, reading the graph, basic calculus. If that's solid, you're good to go. But there's too much else to learn, so make sure that's solid. Word problems, setting up word problems, we're practicing that a lot. Using logic, physical intuition I could put in there, and communication skills. All those things are good to go into the class with. Set yourself up for success. So some people will finish Calculus 1 and be taking Calculus 2 while they're taking this course. Some people will finish Calculus 2 and be taking Calculus 3. They have a little bit of an advantage because of the sophistication in math. So make sure you've got the correct background. Don't try to shortchange things. Number 2, time. Time. So you can't take too many courses. You might think, oh, I got to get through here. Well, what's the point of carrying a lot of things? I do this all the time. And then dropping them. It's like, oh, I was trying to save myself time. I dropped them, and now I got to pick them up, and it ends up taking me more time. Right? So carrying too many courses is foolish, and it's disrespectful to the process of education and to the careers that you want to go into. You want to be good. You want to know this stuff. 3 hard courses is likely a maximum. If you take 4, just forget about doing anything else. I mean, just put yourself away in a little monastery and work. So, and not a bunch of other fluff courses. So you got to be careful. Take the time. Give yourself time to soak it up and build a very strong foundation. You don't want to work too many hours at work. And sometimes you might have to, and that means, well, you're going to have to slow that down. That's happens to a lot of us, right? We pay our way through college. We work our way little by little, and we juggle that. It's not easy. None of this is easy, but it's doable. So balance that. I mean, some people take 3 courses, work 40 hours a week, forget it. I mean, I know what's going to happen. If you're working 10, 15 hours a week, that's probably good. You might be able to get away with that with 3. Hopefully it's related to, if you start being related to the field you're interested in. A hard class, like physics, if you want to really do well and really get as much as you can, could take 15 to 20 hours a week outside of class. So schedule it. Capable pattern, like when do you study? Doing little bits are better than one, like, only do 15 hours in one day. Good, you won't get very much out of it. So it's better to do smaller chunks more often. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that leads into how you use your time. So you've got to have time. You're setting yourself up right away. You've got to have more time. And sometimes, reality isn't ideal. At work, often there's way too much to do, and I can be overflowing with work, and there have been periods. So you try to make adjustments so that it doesn't persist. Background. Go in strong. Time. Make sure you've got plenty of time to work on it and enjoy it. Strong study skills, what do they mean? There's courses and all kinds of things on strong study skills. In the end, you just got to do it. Get around other people that are doing it. There are things that make a huge difference. And I'll mention this. So as you develop strong study skills, they can get better and better and better. And you can be saying the same thing, but doing it more strongly. As you go into upper division or graduate school or careers, these skills are what people do. For example, there's a power cycle I like to call. Preview, study, work, go round and round, and then review a topic. And while you're reviewing one topic, you're previewing another topic because it's a juggling match. Imagine yourself in business. You go into a meeting. You don't walk into a meeting cold. You preview. You go in for an interview for a job. You don't go in never learning anything about the company or the people there. You go and preview and find out about the company, know about them. It's like cheating, except it's allowed cheating. It is cheating in a sense. And then you're getting ahead, you're previewing and preparing. You can't completely digest it. The brain doesn't work that way. It would be nice. All at once. So you can do this quickly. I like to do it with short notes, just kind of outline something and then go, okay, let me go back through, and then I'll really have a deeper understanding. As I study, as I practice doing problems or whatever, as I struggle, as I throw my book against the wall, as I ask questions of my classmates and my professor or online, whatever, as I write it out and sit around and contemplate, what does this mean? But make sure you don't get stuck there, but you have a cycle and come away with maybe some notes that you can quickly review. I like to take long notes and short notes. Short notes, just a really quick reminder. A couple of words can remind you, oh yeah. Otherwise, the brain's going to dump it. They say, I don't know, 24 hours, your brain dumps about half of what you learned yesterday. Something like that. Whatever it is, it's annoying, but that's the way our brains are to make room. So you got to find a way to keep it, to make it stick, and to make it the understanding deeper. And another way to do that is to work with others, because you're talking about it, you're arguing about it. If you're going round and round, it may seem like it's inefficient, but in fact it's very efficient, and you're going to work with others in companies, industry, and so on. Clamor for people that are able to work well with others and that do their homework and are prepared. So this is powerful and it's fun because you learn faster to do this, but it takes a bit of discipline. But it works, and once you stop doing it, because there are times when you don't do it and you go, oh man, I should have done that. Go to class, I haven't previewed before that class, I have no idea what the professor's talking about in 5 minutes. And it's painful, and you just don't do it again. You go to a business meeting, and you go, oh, I haven't prepared. I feel like an idiot. I'm going to prepare and be the shining star and get the raise. So along the lines of this, remember that doing it is critical. So there are some classes, I suppose, or some topics where you can passively just listen to someone and learn it. And in some research here in 1993, a gentleman, Gary Phillips, reported that this is akin to a lot of what people say, but we remember 10% of what we hear, 15% of what we see, so draw it on the board, hear it, 20% of what we hear and see, so better. 60% of what we do, I can't do it for you. That's why we do this, and then we can work in class on problems. 80% is what is done actively and then reflected upon, review. And 90% of what we teach others, in other words, 10% of this I completely forgot. I don't know. So, whatever the case. Anyway, you get in there and you do it, right? And you don't have to be hard on yourself that you don't get it the first time. You don't get it the second time. You just keep pushing. And that brings us to the last topic, and this is, close it out with this, is attitude. Attitude's important. Watch baseball. Even if you don't like it, there's more going on there than you think. Watch a baseball player. What a crazy sport. I mean, if you hit 3 out of 10 times, you're great. So, wow. That means 7 out of 10 times you pop up, you strike out. It's so frustrating. And you got to deal with that. You got to pick yourself back up. But if you get in a slump, you start hanging your head, you know you're going to be stuck. And you're human, so you will. I have. You know, we all get into that place. Number one, you have to know you can do it. Know you can if you do what it takes. Now, there are limits, right? If I go out and I say, I want to be the center for an NBA basketball team, I want to play center. I think no matter what I do, it's not going to happen, even if I started when I was a kid, right? I like basketball too, but it wasn't going to happen, right? So maybe there are limits, and you find those, right? You find your strengths, fine. But in much of this, if you apply these, you will maximize your limits. You will go to where you can go and where you enjoy, because it's enjoyable doing what you can do. So know you can. You could have dropped out of high school. It doesn't really matter. I mean, sure, maybe it's easier if you don't. It doesn't matter. I have so many people that dropped out of high school, gone on to get PhDs, PhDs in physics, PhDs in engineering, doctors. I've seen it all the time. Right? We're growing up in high school. It's a rough time. We take detours. That's life. We may learn a lot more dropping out. But it doesn't matter. Just do this stuff, learn this stuff, keep your eye on the prize. It matters. All this matters because you get a career, hopefully, that you enjoy. Hopefully, that if you like contributing, feel like you contributed, makes you feel good. Certainly, it's good to get a flat tire and feel like you can go buy one or a whole new set or be able to do some nice things and financially feel secure. And that's a nice thing to have those skills. So you can have that. Keep your eye on the prize, what you want out of life. I would say don't, if you drive yourself too crazy with all this, all of a sudden you become a workaholic and you have no other life, which is fine if you enjoy it. But so it's a juggling act, it's a balancing act. Try it. Push through all your confusion, your failures, your frustrations, the bumps, the curves. Things happen in life. You may have to withdraw from courses, whatever it is. But if you're flaking out all the time, that's not good. If you continue to get back on the horse and do your work, it's great. You can succeed. But keep these in mind. Go in with a strong background. Give yourself plenty of time. Apply good study skills and work with people that are also dedicated. And pick yourself up. You might bomb an exam. It's like, okay, what am I not doing? I may need more time. I need something else. And that is, that's it for success in college, and we'll talk about success in physics.